What's going on, everybody? Slang Dutchman here, and today we're gonna place I have different tires on the front. Let me show you. Well, I was having some clearance issues, and I switched the tires. I went to the junkyard and found a good set of tires with good profile, and I got a good deal on them. These are sidewalls of 45 instead of the 55 that I had. It's still on the back, but that doesn't really matter. Gives me a lot more clearance, as well as like turning in. Also here I got a bit of wheel gap, which is no problem because when you're drifting you need that clearance on top. So we're gonna do two things. Like last, I did the coilover swap with the camber plates, and I wound up the coilover so I had a bit more clearance. That resulted in my shocks being to the maximum, and now when I go over a speed bump or whatever, it compresses and then it pushes out so hard that you can really hear a weird clunk because it just goes bam to the maximum. So I'm gonna wind the springs a bit down, so it's also gonna sit a little bit lower. But I'm going to roll the fenders because of the tires are coming out a little bit wider. You can see that it's poking out a little bit, and as soon as it with the old tires, when it goes up, it just was hitting the fender. So I got an arch roller from a buddy of mine. He was like, yeah man, just pick it up, you can borrow it and have fun with it. It's all brand new. So let me take it out. Here it is. It's completely new by the looks of it, and never done this before, so let's see how it works and try to figure it out. So I'm just gonna roll the arches so we have a lot more clearance, and then unwind the springs a little bit so they have a little bit more normal travel and not hitting the end of the shock. And let's see how it goes. So I've got it on. This is the little factory seal that keeps your edge from not rusting, but it was already rubbing and chipping some paint on the inside. I want to keep the paint on the outside kind of good because, well, it's still good. It's not like the bonnet. So my lovely girlfriend is helping me with the heat gun just to make sure that this is still in nice temperature, and now I'm rolling it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like the original edge, and then here is a little extra edge which I'm creating because the car is so low. The roller is not fully hitting this outside lip, which is a bit shit, but as you can see, that's just paint chipping. Not from the roller, that was there already. It's also on the other side without rolling it. But in this case I'm just gonna pull the whole fender out on this line, which is, well, almost the same idea with keeping the factory little edge here. So basically what you do is that this one, you turn it, you can tighten it so it comes forward. You start rolling it back and forth until it has less tension, and then you crank this up again, go for it, repeat that process till you think, well, this is enough, and we'll see how it goes because it's already a little bit outside, but we're gonna do it even worse because drift car. Also, I'm in luck because it came out already a little bit. Now the wheel is hitting this edge, so I might even be able to pull this edge out a little bit, which is convenient. So let's go for it. It dips in a little bit here, but we'll see. It's gonna be perfect. So I managed to get it a little bit more inside of that edge. It's not tight enough though, because it's pulling up. So let me reset that thing. Full tension. And now wind it up again. And as you can see, as I'm going to roll, the fender flexes a lot because it's just a thin little sheet metal. And as soon as this is going too easy, you give it another turn, you do it again. Until you think you're far enough, but because it's drift car, you basically can't go far enough. Oh, it's hitting the brake caliper, that's why it doesn't go any further. But also that's not necessary, because mainly this part, top part, which is the case. It's already, I think, that much out, like almost an inch, because I can fit my fingers between the fender and the inner wheel line, which is plastic, which I'm gonna cut out because that's not anything we need. Also, it's gonna rub, so it has come out a lot though.
Yeah. You can see it.
Yeah, if you just look at the little edges, like there it's just going like sideways and then flat. That one is just sticking out, just going straight out. So also, if you don't have a roller like this, you can also do it with a baseball bat. Lift up the car so that there's enough clearance for it. Put the baseball bat in between the wheel and the arch, then lower the car till you have enough pressure and then roll it back and forth. But in this case I wanted to do it properly, especially because I know someone who had the tools. I was like, yeah, you can borrow it, have fun. Also, there are these little spacers. Oh, I think you would use these to put on here, because they are flush in the top side. I haven't tightened them that much, not to damage it, so should be all good. That nasty sound you hear is just the plastic inner wheel lighting, just damaging, like trying to get back into that gap, but there is no gap anymore. The fitment is just enough, which is perfect. Oh, little paint chip. Fuck it. Now the tension is off, but looking at this compared to the other side, it's a lot more. I'm very happy with the results for now, so I'm gonna take it off, put the wheel on, and see how it matches up. So since the other wheel is not on, I cannot completely lower it, but as you can see, looking at this, it kinda, if you look like this, kinda goes flush with the wheel. Also, it's gonna camber in a little bit when you lower it, a bit more than now is, so it's gonna fit perfectly underneath. So I think this should be it. Also, I have a lot clearance now, so I can screw that down like at least an inch, I think. And I'm gonna, yeah, wind that down a bit and do the other side, wind that one down a bit, and then fully lower it off the jack and see how it turns out. Also, wait, maybe the other side is better to see. This one, plastic, it's already been cut here because of the tire, because the previous owner was a stance driver. I'm gonna cut this out like about here, I think, or maybe even higher. There's like a plug where it's been held in, like somewhere here in the middle. I don't know exactly where. Just gonna cut it off, take this whole piece out because I need clearance here for the tire. I mean, it even looks like it's been rubbing here. It's a little black spot, so don't want that. So both sides done. Next thing to do is to lower the car. As you can see here, it's like flaring out like crazy. Also, I pushed in a little bit here and I created a little dent, but I'm gonna tap that out a little bit. But then again, I don't really give a damn how it's looking, because it needs to be functional. It's gonna be wrapped anyway and full of stickers, so that's gonna take all the details out. And I can also get a new set of fenders if I really want to, but it's a drift build, no clean ass stands build. So torque those nuts, lux, whatever, drop it down, see what it does. So it's on the ground. I did a little test drive around how it was. I have enough clearance, no rubbing, no weird clunking noises from the suspension, and as you can see, maybe a little bit closer, that lip is totally flared out. I had some paint chips though, as you can see, but that's inevitable when you go this far. Also a little dent here, but it was already present, but now just more noticeable. But like I said, I'm just gonna sand this down, give it a little bit of paint, and it's gonna be wrapped, so that's no issue. But like, the wheels were sticking out and now they're not. They're really good falling inside the wheel well. This one is a little bit nastier because I pushed here a little bit and made a dent, but once again, not gonna bother. It needed the clearance and it needs to be like functional. So cool. Also, I noticed that here on the inside, the sway bar bushing, don't know if you can see that there, it's in a very weird angle, and that bushy and that bushing is totally worn out, so I need to fix that because it's clunking and rattling and being annoying. So let's see how that turns out, but that's a thing I need to do before Sunday. Sunday is drift day, and well, I'm quite proud of the stance it has now, falling all nice tightly between the wheel wells. Doesn't look like it has that much crazy offset compared to the rear now, because the tires ain't sticking out, so police are not gonna notice it as much. So happy with the result. Nice. So if you want to see more of this drift build coming up in the future, I think more or less cosmetic things are next, because mechanically a lot of things are done. It has a welded diff, has the hydro, it's lowered, stiffened, got camber plates at the front, got the clearance. Have a set angle kit already? I think so. Cat wants some attention. Thank you. Ow! So if you want to see more of this, or also the drifting, which is for me upcoming Sunday, it's now Friday, so in 2 days. If you want to see more of that, then please give it a subscription for the channel. You will see more of this stuff, and give it a like if you like the video. And for now, thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.